How do you teach the history of race in the Caribbean? Let's take a look. First, establish an example of African sovereignty. I like to begin with the Kingdom of the Congo a little bit prior to the Portuguese arrival with King Nzinga and Kuku. After you've established that the Kingdom of the Congo had metallurgy, its own vernacular architecture, the harvesting of trees, agriculture, and medicinal practices, now you're ready to talk about the arrival of the Portuguese. The Portuguese arrive in the year 1483. Diogo Caão arrives at the mouth of the Congo River and makes it to the capital city of the Congo, which was Mbanza, Congo. Mbanza, Congo. The Portuguese and the Congolese established diplomatic relationships, initially on an equal footing. That means that the Congolese sent representatives to Lisbon and the Portuguese sent representatives to Mbanza, Congo on a permanent basis. In a willing fashion, the Congolese nobility converted to Catholicism. Though King Nzinga and Kuku would return to his ancestral roots, his son, Nzinga Mbemba, baptized Alfonso I, took Catholicism very seriously and began the process of Christianizing the Congo Kingdom. The Congolese and the Portuguese enter into a series of agreements for trade, though they both had different international currencies. The Portuguese use precious metals, and the Congolese use Nzimbu shells. What did the Portuguese want from Congo? Many things, including raffia cloth, but they also trafficked in human beings. Human beings became the currency for international commerce with West Central Africa, creating a greater sense of instability in the region and providing the Congo with firearms. The Portuguese were motivated by wealth production. As a Catholic country, they already had the imprimatur of the Pope to enslave persons that would not submit themselves to the Catholic faith, or to enslave persons in order to Christianize them. The conversion of Congolese nobility, was voluntary, but the political zeal to spread Catholicism led to the creation of the Portuguese Inquisition in the early 1500s. The discourse on anti-blackness has its origin in Portuguese in the mid-15th century. The 1453 book by Gomes de Zurara, constructing Africans, representing them as persons in bestial sloth in need of salvation. The biblical myth of Noah's errant son, Ham, was used to justify the enslavement of Africans in perpetuity. We start in the Congo Kingdom because Congo and other African states become a source of labor for Portuguese colonies, not only Madeira, the Atlantic islands, but also Brazil, where the Portuguese arrive in 1500. A vicious cycle ensues. Congo receives firearms from the Portuguese in order to protect its borders and expand its kingdom. And the Portuguese would not accept any other form of currency but human captives if the Congolese wanted to participate in international trade. 9 years after the Portuguese arrived in Mbanza, Congo, the capital city of the Congo Kingdom, in 1483, Christopher Columbus arrives in what is now known as the Caribbean. His first voyage, he's not in a position to impose his authority. He loses one of his ships, Santa Maria. The ship runs aground and he has to leave 40 men behind. But it's Columbus's second voyage, where he brings 1,200 men, well armed and prepared to attack the king, Wakanagari, who had been his friend. The imposition of racial categories, initially established in Europe, established by the Portuguese in 1453 with the invention of the myth of black inferiority, and established in Spain with the purity of blood statues, excluding Muslims and Jews from involvement in any political activity due to the myth of the contamination of their blood. These limpieza de sangre statues would be transformed into the justification for racism against indigenous persons and Africans in the New World. I'm Dr. Petway, author of Cuban Literature in the Age of Black Insurrection, signing out.